So obviously really disappointed last Friday night in not being able to secure the win up at Cincinnati. But very, very pleased with the way our team competed and played, and I thought the kids competed at an extremely high level in a tough environment on the road against one of the best teams in our league, one of the top teams in the country, and had our chances. Certainly had our chance on the last drive of the game to win it. Just didn't make the plays there at the end, and Cincinnati did, and that's the difference between winning and losing. And the players continue to be very driven. It's what's made us this group special this year. It's just their drive and leadership. I would expect us to have a very good practice today. We have a challenging opponent coming in here Saturday, a red-hot Houston team. They've won 4 of their last 5, and over that span, averaging 45 points a game. I think that Tune's probably the best quarterback we've faced all year. He's having just a phenomenal year, and Nathan Dell, maybe the best receiver we've faced all year. And they've got other guys too, not just one. I mean, they've got multiple receivers that are dynamic threats. They have a very solid tight end. They have a great 1-2 punch there at running back, solid offensive line. So that's the reason they're scoring the way they are. They're long and athletic defensively. And they're very dynamic on special teams, so it's going to be a great challenge on Saturday. They come in 6-4 like we are. They're 4-2 in the conference, so obviously a huge game for us. Excited to be back in Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium, and expecting a big crowd Saturday, and would be disappointed in anything less. I mean, it's a special group that we're honoring on Senior Day. It's a group that was here when, for the most part, most of them were here when I was hired, and a few have been added in since. But this group has really been the group that's kind of led the turnaround of the program, and they've invested, they've led, they've worked, kind of blood, sweat, and tears kind of deal, and to have a chance to honor them before the game, and then the big thing I've challenged the roster with is to honor them with the way we play the game. And it's a big game for us. It's the next game. It's the most important game of the year, kind of stuff. And it's only one we got this week, but it's also one that's special for this group. And so, expect them to have a great week of practice. Expect us to play really well on Saturday, and it should be a fantastic matchup between 2 really good football teams. Questions?
Coach, just what do you think emotions will be like Saturday pregame? I mean, every Senior Day it is emotional, but it just feels like this group, especially the guys, the 5th, 6th-year seniors, maybe it'll even be more emotional with them and what they have done for this program.
Well, I think that's and that's what I'm going to talk to them about. That group about before then is just this. You got to still try to keep your emotions in check to a degree. I mean, it's certainly a chance to honor them, and I still remember my Senior Day. We all do, but it's you want to make sure that you play the game that you envision on Senior Day. So I think it's going to be a mixture of managing those emotions and then using those emotions to fuel you. But certainly I think this day will be very emotional for our fan base. I think it'll be emotional for me for the same reasons. As just this group has achieved a lot, and I'll never forget them, and they'll always be a part of Pirate football, and just a great story with Pirate football.
Coach, what were your first thoughts when you heard what happened at Virginia, and can you imagine anything like that? How that program is trying to cope with that, because football is such a family type deal.
It's first off, just it's horrific. I mean, it's devastating. I mean, I can't imagine going through that. It's painful enough to hear about it and watch it, but you spend so much time with these kids and you become so attached to them, and it would be very similar to your own children, and I think it's a parent's worst nightmare is something like this happening. And so our thoughts and prayers have been with them all week. It's what they're going through, you shouldn't be going through it, and it's a terrible story. And so just I hope that they're able to process this appropriately honor the lives of those that were lost. We continue to pray for the two young men that are still hospitalized, and just hope that they can navigate that as best possible. But there's really just, it's hard to put into words. So.
Coach, with Holden in particular, what he meant to this program, and how much has he helped you through your time and turn around this program? He's going to leave here with basically every record passing-wise, American and ECU. What has he meant to you?
Well, I think one, I'm very proud of him, and when he decided to come back for this his last year of eligibility, you always want to see guys maximize their potential, and I think just the work that he did in the off season and the way he has prepared himself this year has allowed him to elevate his level of play to a point where I think he is playing at the highest level of his career, and I think maximizing his God-given ability. And so one, I'm just very proud of him. Two, he's just a special kid. And we're obviously very close, and I care about him tremendously. And I'm just thankful that we've had our time together. And so just excited to see him finish his career here. Hope Saturday is, another great performance for him, but also for us. But, he has meant a lot to our football program and a lot to me.
I feel like all this year, you guys are chasing bowl eligibility, you're chasing the conference championship. So I guess with that in mind, what does it mean to this program? I guess just to finish the season strong, and I guess to these seniors as well.
Well, I think the big thing is to keep our focus right now firmly on Houston, and I think it's very important. It's a chance to get win number 7. I think that's a next big milestone for this team. Obviously how we play the next several weeks is going to dictate where we go during the postseason. But we got to keep our focus right now squarely on a very good Houston team and trying to finish. The thing is finishing off Dowdy Ficklin Stadium. Our season here at home. Finishing it off with a win would be a great way to finish the regular season at home. And so it's. I think we just got to keep our focus right there.
Friday night was a pretty physical game. Have you sent in any of the questionable calls and got any feedback from the conference? And how are Keaton and CJ doing?
Well, I think first off, just health-wise, we came out of Friday night very well. Obviously some pretty significant precautions we're taking with both Keaton and CJ Friday night, and just our medical staff did a great job. I think Cincinnati's medical staff, really stepped up and did a great job with helping us there. And after thorough evaluation, both Keaton and CJ have been cleared of anything serious right there. We do expect both of them to do something today at practice. Expect them to probably be full speed by tomorrow, and we anticipate both of them playing on Saturday. So, thankful for that. Listen, it was a highly competitive game. I know that there's lots of calls that people question and things of that, and I've spoken with the director of officials and shared my thoughts there. But at the end of the day, we didn't make the plays at the end of the ball game to win the game, and that's on us. So we've got to play better. We got to coach better. But that's in the past. I mean, you got to focus on the next one.
Going back to Houston, last year's game, right down tooth and nail overtime game, had to wait 5 hours, 6 hours to play. Is there anything out of that game that helps you this week, Coach?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they're a quality program. They were a 12-win team last year. I think they are, equally explosive and talented this year, and a very, very solid football team. So I just think that just knowing who they are, from a talent perspective, and from the fact they come in winning 4 of their last 5. Obviously, they're playing really well right now. So, they're one of the better teams in our conference. They're transitioning to the Big 12 last year, along with Cincinnati and UCF. So, they're in the middle of transitioning, to a different league, and have been using that from a recruiting standpoint, going into this year and into this recruiting cycle. So, they're as talented as anybody we're going to see. So I think that's the biggest thing I take from it, is just we have a great challenge.
What's tuned for them, their quarterback's kind of similar to Holton. He's been there a while. He's always been solid. It seems like he's taken his level of play to another level this year. What have you seen that has allowed that to happen as you watch the tape?
Well, he is. He's playing as well as any quarterback we faced this year. I think it's a combination of a couple things. I think, like Holton, he is really good in the pocket as far as, identifying, coverages, defenses, pressures, making sure they're in the right protection. I think he does a great job with decision making, and obviously with the weapons he has around him. He has the ability to go to a lot of different people. It's not just like he centers on just Dale. His mobility has added, I think, this year an even greater dimension. They're running him quite a bit on quarterback designed runs. He scrambles a lot, and he throws very, very well on the run. He has over 500 yards rushing on the year, in addition to 3,000 passing. Completing 70%. He has 31 touchdowns. I mean, he is playing at an upper, kind of special level. So it creates a lot of challenges for us, and it's one I can promise you that the defensive staff hadn't slept very much, and probably not going to sleep very much this week, and so they're working very hard to prepare our guys to try to slow them down a little bit, and try to get some stops. And I think that's what it is. I mean, I don't think you're going to shut down a player or an offense of this caliber. You got to try to slow them down, get stops where you can, force turnovers, do things like that to try to get them off schedule. So I just think it's going to be it's going to be a tremendous challenge on Saturday.
Special teams played a big role last year against them, and it played a big role this past week. What has to be better?
Well, I think some of our special teams played very, very well Friday night. Our punt unit had their best night of the year. Luke averaged 42 and some change, almost 43 yards a punt. I thought his placement was really good. I thought our coverage, our gunners did a really good job there. I think we've got to be better in punt return, protecting Malik and giving him, opportunities to field the ball and return the ball right there. That's, we knew that Cincinnati's punt gunners were, elite level. So we got to do a better job against in that situation right there. Our kickoff coverage, outside of the one, our kickoff coverage is okay on the night, but the one was obviously significant. We got to tackle better. That's what it is. I mean, we made first contact at the 15-yard line. With our force player right there. We had, the 3 right next to him, I thought was getting ready to make the tackle. He got hit in the back and knocked to the turf. And so, but then we had 2 or 3 other guys there to clean it up, and we just got to make the tackle. And so our inability to make that tackle right there obviously resulted in a huge play and a explosive play and a 7-point score that you don't want to give up. So we're challenged this week. I mean, their kick returners averaging 40 yards a return. Dell is averaging about 15 yards a return in punt return yardage. So that's, they have 2 dynamic returners right there in the kicking game. And so, we've got to improve that this week, and that's got to be another piece where we play at a very high level.
But you guys have, I guess, basically secured the redshirt for Mason Garcia at this
Yep.
point. Only played 1 game. So have you talked about potentially getting him any reps in live situations to get him more prepared for the future, or is it too fine a line when you guys are clearly still trying to win games with Holton at quarterback?
Well, I think it's now you're not concerned about it. You're not concerned about, should we use Mason right here, should we not, that kind of stuff. Now you kind of have, free reign now to any time that there's an opportunity that, he can go in there and help us, then, you'll put him in there and help us. And so, I'm not going to sit here and say we're going to, have him rotate or anything like that, but because, when the day comes that he's the starting quarterback, I think that position, I think that you just got to be conscientious in how you handle that. And so, but certainly with the red shirt secured, anytime he's needed, he's now available without any kind of thought.
Any other questions for Coach?
All right, thanks a lot.